Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town is a Pandora's box in the farming genre. It has this weird dynamic where it was one of the finest, most polished original farming games way back in 2003 when it was still Harvest Moon. It amassed many 10 out of 10 reviews, which were rightfully deserved for the time. However, since then, we've received more 10 out of 10 farming games. Games like Stardew Valley and Rune Factory 4 come along and breathe life and depth into the genre. They add even greater variety to mechanics, whether it be combat systems or skill systems, and there's this moment whilst playing this remake where the stars align and you see exactly what allowed these games to come into existence in the first place. Throughout playing, I'd continually capture snapshots of mechanics which bloomed into these developed mechanics in the same, more modern games. I was refreshingly surprised to find that the more you use your tools in this game, the more you can upgrade them and develop your abilities. Rune Factory took the experience system and created 100 skills from it, and then Stardew Valley turned it into a proficiency system for farming, fishing, mining, etc. So if you bear that in mind and come into the Friends of Mineral Town remake knowing that it's an old game and that even it plays nowadays somewhat like an early access title, and just accept that the mechanics may be simple right now but were revolutionary for the time, then you have a wonderful game on your shoulders. I appreciated the greater focus on farming. Maintaining your farm will take up the majority of your day. It's not just a small part of the checklist on your daily activities. You fall into this rhythm of petting your animals, watering your plants, cleaning up messes, and just having a healthy routine to take some of the stress off the chaos of your potential lives. Your real ones, that is. There are still good distractions available. There's a basic fishing system, and there's a pretty simple mining system, but it's in these distractions where the simplicity of the mechanics haven't necessarily aged so well. In this game, they're just a means to an end. Mining is about hitting rocks to get ore. It's no dungeon crawler where you find a variety of treasures as you fight off monsters. Likewise, fishing isn't some incredibly developed minigame with dynamic systems. It's just pressing a button and developing knowledge of where the fish are. Pretty similar to Animal Crossing, actually. And honestly, with all these aspiring farming games coming out in early access right now, it's important for people to go back and ask what it is they enjoyed about the staples of the genre, because developers need to know these things now more than ever before they lose sight of what makes the genre great. Some of the best farming games are the ones where it's about a simple life. I'm pretty sure there's a term in video games called mechanics bloat or feature bloat. Friends of Mineral Town is a farming game, and the focus stays on that. All the modern improvements have brought it up to date, but only in appearance. The menus are slick and clean, the graphics are charming and cute, but none of the gameplay has been reworked. So what you're playing is essentially a farming game that's 17 years old at the core. So the only question you really need to ask yourself is, are you okay with that? Because I know I am. As many of you may know, I am a massive fan of the farming genre, and the games I've cited in this video are some of my favourite games of all time. So I thought it'd be important to provide a review from the perspective of many people who are in the same position as myself, where you've played these modern, astounding farming games and you're going back to something more simple, but you realise that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you can do that, then I wholeheartedly recommend this game. I'd go so far as to give it a 9.5 out of 10. As both a game itself and being a bit more critical of what other games are available on the market right now, I'd have to be a bit more conservative with my score. I'd say a 7.5, 8 out of 10 at the highest. And I do feel guilty for that, which is why I wanted to give it 2 scores in this review. There are 2 kinds of players, and I wanted to try and account for both of them. In fact, the purpose I had in mind when making this video was to answer whether or not the Friends of Mineral Town remake is worth the time of someone who joined the genre with the more modern titles. And certainly, if there's enough interest, then I'm considering breaking down each of the titles referenced in this video, like Rune Factory and Stardew Valley, and doing a deep comparison of the pros and cons of them, comparing them to Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons. If this is something you'd be interested in, then I'm going to set a like goal of 100 likes, and if this video reaches that, then I'll get to work on that video immediately, just so I know people have interest in it, you know. I'm not usually a like goal person, but I know not all of my audience is necessarily interested in farming games. It's pretty niche overall. But this is a topic which I'm passionate about, so I'd love to put more time into investigating it properly. Thank you for watching this video, and special thanks to Marvelous for sending out an awesome press kit for this game. It contains some really cool things, like some chicken feed, some seeds, and even a key which doubled up as a bottle opener, which was meant to be the key to the farmhouse to promote the game. I thought that was really cool. If you want to watch that video, then there'll be a little card up in the upper right corner. It's only short, but it contains some really cool things, so if you're interested in it, interested in Story of Seasons in general, check out what they did. Otherwise, the description will have some important links to Patreon and my Discord if you want to join, and a like on the video would always be appreciated. Thanks for sticking with me, have a great day, I love you guys. This is me out. Ow. And I currently have a plaster on my thumb so I can't click my fingers, but this is me out. Peace.